Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the chapter 10, Introduction to Networking. So, today all the people in the world are connected in a network with the help of any devices. Let us see the basic terms used in this chapter in the introduction part. The first one is the network. Network is nothing but the two or more nodes connected together. Here, nodes in the sense the devices. Node in the sense it means the devices. The devices that are connected and identified with the help of an IP address, the Internet Protocol address. So devices may be mobile or computer or printer or scanner or fax machine, whatever may be. The device which has the capability to share its resource comes under the nodes or comes under the network. The next one is internet. Internet is nothing but the computers that are globally connected. The computers that are globally connected, whereas the computers that are connected within the organization with some restriction comes under the intranet, whereas the inter means intermediate between the networks. The computers that are globally connected in a network. So next is the computer networking, where it permits the nodes, it permits the devices to share its resources. How it shares the resources? With the help of either wired or wireless. So here we see the example. So this is the computer A which is connected in the wired to the printer, and the printer is also connected to the computer B, whereas the computer B is connected to the server. The server is connected to the internet cloud. Internet cloud is nothing but the data which is stored in the cloud. With the help of satellite and with the help of Wi-Fi, the data can be accessed. So here the mobile devices are connected with the towers through Wi-Fi, and the printer also gets connected with the Wi-Fi to the mobile devices. So these are the basic terms used in this chapter. So now let us see the history of computer networking. So in late 1950, they have introduced the concept called SAGE, that is semi-automatic ground environment. So it is mainly used by the US military radar system for finding the intruders, the enemy countries, whether they are getting into their border or inside the country. With the help of the multiple radar system, they connected to a single one. So they have used this SAGE concept, the US military radar system. And in late 1960, SABRE, that is SABRE is nothing but semi-automatic business research environment. So it is mainly used for airline reservation online system. They have connected two mainframe computers for airline reservation online system. Mainframe computers is nothing but deals with huge data processing. Computers which deals with a huge number of data comes under the mainframe computers, which has the capacity to handle the huge number of data, will be the mainframe computers. They have connected two mainframe computers online for airline reservation system with the help of the punched cards. They have used the technology punched cards. Next, in the same 1960, they have introduced the concept called packet switching. Packet switching is nothing but grouping of data. Grouping of data. Say for example, I have a bulk of data to be sent to the computer. Say for example, from A to B. Rather sending the whole data in a single node where the load increases. Load gets increases. Whereas rather sending it in a single, I am separating the data into multiple packets. I am separating the data into multiple, grouping the data in a multiple packets, multiple blocks like that. So I can able to send, say for example, P1, P2, P3. I can send the P1 to this node, P1 to this node, and P2 through this node, and P3 to this node. It is not mandatory to send via this node P2 to this through this node. We can send whichever node available free. So this is how we can send the data by splitting them into various packets. So the time gets reduced, the sending time gets reduced, and the load of the nodes get reduced. So this is the packet consists of header and payloads. The header will have the data which is used by the hardware to direct the packet to its destination. Say for example, the P1 will have the header to go through these nodes. Say for example, this is A, B and this is C, D. This P1 will have it must go through A and again B and it reaches the destination. Similarly, the P2 will have it must pass through C, D and reaches the destination. Likewise, the header will have the data which is used by networking hardware to direct the packet to its destination. Whereas the payload will have the data, the main data which is extracted and used by the software, application software. Next is in 1963, they have introduced a concept called intergalactic computer network. Galactic is nothing but they mean as galaxy. They want to establish the computer network in a wide range of distance, long distance. So initially they have tested with the three different locations which are very far away. It can be they can able to establish the communication. It can be an organization, institution, or individuals, whatever may be. They want to establish the network connection to the various very far distance, in a very far distance. Next is in 1965, they have introduced a concept called telephone switch. They have established the transferring of data with the help of the telephone lines, where they can able to implement the true computer control. They can able to control the computer exactly what they imagine. And next is in 1966, they have introduced a concept called WAN, that is the Wide Area Network. They can able to establish the network to the wide area with a very far distance, similar to the intergalactic computer. From the intergalactic computer, they have arrived the concept called the WAN. In that, they have introduced the time sharing. Time sharing is nothing but sharing of resources, a single resources, by the multiple users at the same time. Sharing of resources to the multiple users at the same time, with the help of the concept called multi-programming or multitasking. Okay. And next one is in 1969 to 1970, they have introduced a concept called ARPANET, the Advanced Research Project Agency Network. It is an agency. They have tied up with that agency for establishing the network. So there they have introduced the concept hierarchical routing. Hierarchy is nothing but a tree structure. Routing is nothing but connection of various networks. So they have serialized. They have gathered the routing in a hierarchical, that is a tree structure. In a tree structure, they have assembled the routing in a tree structure so that they can establish a free communication or easy communication among the nodes. And next is in 1972, they have introduced a concept called TCP/IP. TCP is nothing but Transmission Control Protocol, and IP is Internet Protocol. Protocol is nothing but they have predefined the structure, how the transmission to be controlled, how the IP to be defined. Protocol is nothing but a predefined set of instructions. They have predefined a set of instructions for transferring over long distance. For trustworthy, they have created the TCP/IP concept. And next is 1973 host. Host is nothing but it is also a device or a computer which acts as a server, which can also act as a server for reliable delivery of data. Say for example, the data is transferring from one location to another. For avoiding the data loss or data theft, they can able to store the data in a intermediate system as a server, and then from there they can take the data. For example, here from one location through the internet cloud it is connected, the data to be transferred to the B, whereas directly transferring the data to B for every time, they can able to store the data, the relevant data, the content which the B needs in a host, in a server nearby to the B. From the B can able to access the data from the host, rather connecting for each and every time to the internet cloud. And next is the 1973 to 1979, the concept called Ethernet. Ethernet is used mainly on the local area network, wide area network, and the metropolitan area network for connecting devices based on IP. Based on the internet protocol, it connects the devices. And next is the in 1976 they have introduced the concept called ARPANET. It is a communication protocol mainly used for automation task, for doing the particular task automatically, which is the function will be predefined, is set predefined, and later they have introduced the concept ARPANET in the embedded system. It uses the token passing network system. It uses the token passing network system. Token passing is nothing but it is a channel access method where it is a signal. The token is a signal passed between nodes. These are the nodes passed between the nodes which authorize the node. Say for example, the A wants to access the node, the authorization will be given by the token. Will be given by the token. Okay. Similarly, the B want to access the C means the authorization will be given through the token, whether the B can able to access or not. Like that, the token passing network system is used. And the last one is the 1995 new fiber optic cable they have used. In the you have seen the Ethernet cable. Ethernet cable starting from the kbps, the speed of the data transmission. Starting from the kbps, it transferred to mbps, and mbps to now it is up to gbps. Okay, that is gigabyte per second. That is megabyte per second. That mbps is megabyte per second. Likewise, now the new fiber optic cable is an optical cable. It is a tiny optical cable where the data get transferred through light, and the speed is more when compared to the other cables. So this is all about the history of computer networking. The next topic which we are going to discuss in this chapter is internet. So nowadays the people around the world are get easily connected only with the help of this internet. Those days the term internet was not much familiar because it is quite expensive, and nowadays with the development of the mobile technology and the social web, the term internet gets more familiar, and since it is much cheaper when compared to those days. These are the three abbreviations. The first one is international network, interconnected computer network, and interesting notions. Notions is nothing but the two or more workspace connected or combined in a single workspace is called as a notions. Interesting notions transmitted electronically round newly engineered technology. So these are the basic abbreviations given in your book, and these are the key points and some advantages and disadvantages of internet. The internet provides all the informations to the user. In those days, if you want to buy anything, you have to go out to the shop, whereas nowadays everything comes to your doorstep only because of the internet, like online shopping. And next one is the internet runs all the time, all round the clock, 24/7 and 365 days. And next one is the e-governance. All the government activities are made online accessible. So with this you can avoid the bribery at the government offices. You no need to give any bribery amount for the at the government office, and everything made accessible online only with the help of internet. And next one is e-banking. For security purpose, high security, all the banking services establish this e-banking concept, and including the mobile banking and internet banking for high security. All the banking related activities can be done through online. And next one is merchandising. Is nothing but you can sell any product, any of your product through the internet very easily. It reaches the customers at a very fast rate. And last one is search engine. Search engine makes the reach to the customer. The search engine initially was the Yahoo and the Bing was familiar. Once the Google stepped in, these two went back. Now the Google is the most popular search engine, which makes the user to access the information easily in the World Wide Web with the help of this internet. And next is the disadvantages of the internet. The first one is the wasting your precious time. Once you step into the internet, it makes you to move in by showing you more interesting information that are recently searched by the user. And next one is unnecessary information is also available. So unnecessary ads will be displayed in many of the websites. And last one is the hackers and viruses. Once you step into the internet, it means everything is open. Everything is open. Even your devices which you use for internet is open for all, and the intruders can easily get into your devices. And there are so many viruses available in the cloud, in the internet, which can be affect your device. So these are all about the basic points and advantages and disadvantages of internet. And the next topic is the growth of computer networking. So you have studied about the history of computer networking, starting from the SAGE and till the fiber optic cable, how the network has been grown with the help of by increasing its speed and making it more efficient, like that. The same here is the network operate all the users at business. Each and every part of this world is controlled or monitored by the network. So starting from the business, home, organization, each and every part, the network plays a role. And with the help of the growth of cloud storage and cloud computing, so the network concept has been grown to the next level as the cloud storage and cloud computing, storing the data in the public common server which is stored in the cloud. And the development of mobile networks, and till 4th generation we are using now, and yet to have the 5th generation. And these are the various generations with the data rates, starting from 1st generation with 2.4 kbps, and in 5th generation currently we are using 4th generation, and expecting in 5th generation more than 1 GB per second. And last one is the artificial intelligence. So nowadays the computer or the internet works based on a certain algorithm, and it predicts how the user is using the internet, what are all the recent activities for a particular user is using. Based on that, it analyzes the user data. It predicts the user and analyze the user data. So this is all about the growth of computer networking. The next topic is uses of computer networks. How the computer network is used in various sectors. Say for example, starting from communication. The interaction made easy among the users. So it is easy to get communicated with a person who is very far away. So with the help of the mobile, social media and email, etc. and various platforms are available for getting interacted with the users easily. And resource sharing. Sharing of devices. It's not sharing of data, it is not sharing of information, it's sharing of devices. Say for example, printers, a fax machine. Sharing of devices irrespective of physical location. Wherever may be the location, the devices can be easily shared with the help of the networks. And software or data sharing. Similarly, the sharing of the application and data is made easy with the help of the computer network. And last one is the money saving. All these things for communication, resource sharing or data sharing, all these things, if it is done without the computer network, means huge amount of money must be invested. With the help of computer networking, all the money which are to be invested in these sharing of resource or data or communication are saved. So it reduces the manpower and paperwork and it saves the time. So this is all about the common uses of computer networks. Previously we have seen about the common uses of computer networks. Now let us discuss about the major application of computer networks in business, home and various sectors. First, the networks in business. For a successful business, the successful communication is must. So the communication is made easy with the help of the network. First thing. And the next one is, by using the cloud computing, the business is made globally possible to access all over the globe. That is the main thing. All over the business is possible to reach all over the globe with the help of this cloud computing technology. And various business models are available, starting from B2B, business to business, and business to customer, and C2B, C2C, even the government to business and government to consumer or the customer. So all business models has been developed with the help of this computer networking. Next, let us see how the computer networks work at home. Nowadays, everything in the home are digitalized. That is, everything in the home are get connected. Whatever the electronic device which we use are possible to get connected in a single device with the help of networking. So how it can be get connected? Either through wired or wireless. Wired in the sense with the help of the cable, every device will be get connected. In case it is a wireless, means they will be using Wi-Fi technology for getting connected the devices. This is how the computer network made changes in the home. Next, we will see how the computer network made the mobile network efficient. Mobile network is nothing but simply the device without cable. It means the device it is get connected purely with Wi-Fi, that is wireless technology. And these are the basic features, these are the main features which made the mobile network more efficient and reachable. First one is less consumption of power. So the power is consumed very less. The power consumption is very less. And next, the huge capacity. The mobile network has the capacity to store huge amount of data or huge collection of devices. a single tower has the capacity to hold many devices at a time. That is a huge capacity. The sharing of information made easy with the help of this huge capacity of devices. And last one is covering large area. So it covers a large wider area, so the data can be easily shared from one location to the other. So these are the basic or the main features which made the mobile network more efficient and reachable. And this is how the computer network plays in the field of mobile networking. And the next one is the social application. It is the easy and fastest way to reach the user. So all these things is made with the help of the network. So all the social applications, example was starting from WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, all these social applications will have these common attributes. So all social applications starting from WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter will have these common attributes, starting from the membership, gathering the user details, starting from the name and till the bank account details for getting the paid membership plan. And next is content contribution. All the social media, all the social application will focus on the sharing of the content, how the content can be easily shared. They focus on content contribution. And next one is the frequent return visit. It makes the user to check in again, and it checks how frequently the user get back to the same application. The main aim of the social application to retain the users or to make the user come back or check in again as frequent as possible. And next one is the human relationship building. And human relationship building means a new person can be easily get connected with the help of this social application or the social media. All these things are done only with the help of the computer network. And the last one is the usefulness of social application. So how the social application is mainly used. So in what are all the sectors or what are all the platforms the social application is used. The first one is information sharing. So the main aim of the social application is to make the people get connected irrespective of the location. So once the people are get connected, the information can be easily shared in the social application. And the next one is broadcast announcements. An announcement of an event can be easily updated through the social media or social application, and it can be reached to people at very far location. All these things are irrespective of the location. An event can be easily broadcast in the social media, and it can be viewed by any users at very far location. All the broadcast announcements can be done in the social application. The last one is fostering diversity of thoughts. It creates a platform to share the various minded people thoughts in a single platform. It creates a platform where various minded people will be a part and sharing of their thoughts, which create a new idea. So all these things are happened with the help of the computer network or the network. So with this we come to the end of this chapter, Introduction to Computer Networking. In the next video we will start with the chapter 11. Thank you.